hands, fire in my hands. Time don't wait, so I make my stand. No chords can match this beating heart. Mechanical soul forged to never fall apart. They don't just tell the time, they mark the line between order and war. From the trenches to the skies, they survive it all. RGMT built for the mission core. Screwed down crown and a sapphire shield. Battle ready beauty, no time left to yield. Tougher than time, stronger than steel. Feel like war, every second's a fight. Lume burns bright in the dead of night. GMT edge and the dive watch frame. RGMT, this ain't no game.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Spotlight Watch Review. My name is Jim, and today we're going to be taking a look at the RGMT watches Globemaster GMT Automatic in Jungle Green. Let's dive in. This is going to be a 46 millimeter stainless steel case, and it is unapologetically bold. It is a big in-your-face watch. Now, I am not here to make excuses for those that like big watches. 46 millimeters is big. The watch I'm wearing right now is also a 46 millimeter. It's a beautiful AV8 Pegasus. Generally, I want to be 42 to 44 millimeters. This is just a little bit outside of that, but it wears comfortably because you've got really nicely curved lugs, and there's a good balance with the weight of the bracelet. Now, one interesting thing about this particular colorway is the fact that this jungle green dial shifts from this forest green to olive green depending on the lighting. It's moody, it's complex, and it's definitely got a cool look to it. Normally, I don't go for OD green anything in my life. Not in watch dials, not in anything. It's just not something that I'm into. But this, I don't know, for some reason it kind of works with the whole GMT traveling around the world theme. I don't really know why. It's just a subconscious thing that goes, hey, green kind of works for that. Let's get this sitting upright. There we go. Now we can get a nice close-up look at this dial. Your sword style hands and these very large hour markers are all filled with luminescence, and they glow really, really well. We'll take a look at that in a second. Your date window is down here at the 6 o'clock position, giving you a little bit of symmetry for you design nerds. Now, it's a push-pull crown. It's good because, well, it couldn't get easier, you know? You could just wind it, and then you can pop the crown and make your adjustments. But honestly, it makes me feel weird to say what I'm about to say. This watch is 300 meters water resistant. I don't know how they achieved that with a push-pull crown. I truly do not know. I don't get it. But they have been able to pull that off somehow. Not entirely certain how. So, you've got a GMT. Here is your GMT bezel. You also have your 24-hour markings here around the dial chapter ring. Everything is clean and legible and easy to read. I don't know why they made this a unidirectional rotating bezel. You really do want to rotate this or have the ability to rotate this in any direction. And it's got a little more than a half click of backplay to it. So solid, but not super solid. There is the curvature on that beautiful case. Nice finish work on here, beautifully brushed. And that goes for the bracelet as well. Everything on here is brushed beautifully. There are no polished areas that I can recall seeing. Everything is brushed and clean and smooth and not tacky or in your face. The movement inside is the Seiko NH34 GMT automatic. And in the back here, you've got an exhibition caseback. Sapphire crystal up front and a display caseback that gives you a peek into the movement's no frills functionality. They didn't do any crazy level of decoration. It has a decorated RGMT rotor, and that's it. Now, exhibition casebacks are one of those things that we kind of forget the magic of, I think. When we first got into this hobby, the caseback gave us a peek into a micro world that would soon be taking over our waking lives. And we take seeing the movement for granted these days because, well, we're just used to it. But I still really dig having an exhibition caseback on some watches. On most watches, I don't care. And on some watches, I don't want it at all. But sometimes it's kind of a nice thing to have. And it reminds me of the excitement I used to have with each and every watch purchase that I made. You know, I'm a lot older now. I'm a lot more jaded. I don't get as excited as I used to. It's got to take something really special to get me wound up. Now, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the Lume here, and then we'll do some wrist shots. Give you guys a little bit more info, and then call it a day. All right.
Please like and subscribe.
Okay, are we ready for this? Let's get a little bit of glow on with this UV light. And there we have it, a good display of Lume. It's not insane. It's not, you're not going to lose your mind when you see this thing glowing, but it's very legible, very easy to read, and it's pretty long lasting. I've had the wonderful opportunity to have this for a little while, so I have worn it at night, worn it to bed, and it gets through most of the night. It will not make it all the way till just before dawn, but most of the night, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, you'll be able to look over at your wrist and see what time it is. And to me, that's just about all I need. So good performance, but not crazy. Now, I'm going to say this. It comes on a 22 millimeter stainless steel bracelet with a good, nice fold over diver's clasp, supported scissor style, not the cheap stamped stuff. So it shows that they know really how to give you good value. This is not the first watch that we've been able to say that about. Here's the thing. For this price, I would honestly have assumed that they would have thrown in an additional strap. Maybe that would be an FK rubber strap for comfort and then match up with the dial, or a nylon NATO or Zulu strap. And duh, of course they did. They always do. They always give you that extra little bit of value. And I'm really glad that they chose to go with the FK rubber. This fluoro rubber is nice and pliable and soft. It doesn't seem to want to collect animal pet hair and lint and other things. The material slides against itself very easily, so it's easy once you've got it on to bring the tongue through the keepers on the strap. Me, myself, I'm going to keep it on the bracelet probably 95% of the time, but there are definitely times I like to swap my bracelet watches out and put my rubber straps on. So I'm really glad that RGMT is always ahead of the curve. They always realize what value is and the kind of value people are looking for. So overall, do I suggest this watch? Here's the thing. I think you've got a decent price on this. I think it could get a little bit better, but you get a decent price on it. And if you use the link that's in the description, it'll take you directly to RGMT's website, directly to this watch. And you can decide for yourself of the colors that are available, if you like it enough, if the value is good enough, and you could pull the trigger on it. What I will say is this: it is a very substantial watch. There's nothing about it that feels cheap. And there are a lot of companies out there, especially ones that want to do kind of this military look, where they make the watches oversized like this, and they kind of feel hollow and cheap. That is not at all what you're dealing with here. Not at all. I've really only got one complaint, because you've got all these great things. You've got a super high quality NH34 GMT automatic movement. You got the exhibition caseback so you can see it. You got a nice chunky bracelet. You have a bullhead style crown position at the 12 o'clock position, which I dig. No matter if you're left or right-handed, there's no crown digging into the back of your hand. It's wonderful. Sapphire crystal really adds the value. The nice world map textured dial, also really, really cool. But I have one complaint. It should have drilled lugs. The spring bars, you do get a spring bar tool, and yes, of course, it's not that difficult to change out the bracelet, but I will tell you, this side is a pain in the butt. It did not want to come out. It took me probably an extra minute or two longer than it normally does. So I would have preferred to see drilled lugs so that you could very easily take your tool and push, or compress, I should say, the spring bar from the end instead of trying to hook it on the edge over here. Now, I don't think that's too bad. That's one minor gripe in an overall really slick watch. It's not going to be for a small-wristed individual. It's not going to be for somebody that doesn't like attention, because it is a big watch. It will get attention. As a matter of fact, let's see how much attention it's going to get on my wrist right now as I slap it on for you. And there we have it. So yeah, the curvature of the lugs really makes a difference here. It begins dropping everything straight down. You don't have it sticking up off of your wrist and just kind of like sitting up on top of your arm. It's a really nice fit all the way around. You've got several micro adjustments here in the clasp, so you'll always get the perfect tailored fit, which I'm discovering lately with some micro brands. They are dropping the ball on that. They're making watches with dual deploying clasps that have no, by nature, have no micro adjustments. And a lot of brands are not throwing in a half link. So there are watches that are arriving that it may fit, it may not fit. And that's really disappointing when you order a watch and you're all psyched for it. You're staring at pictures of it. You're watching reviews of it, all waiting for it to arrive. It gets there, and there's no way possible to size it to fit you. And that's kind of a bummer. This one, you don't have to worry about that. You've got plenty of micro adjustments. Those 3 micro adjustments make up for a full link in size. So as you're sizing it, you could be off by a whole link, but you can make up for it right in there. What I did was I gave myself some room, because this is summertime. My skin's going to swell up when I go outside. It's hot and it's humid. I gave myself some room so I can just pop it out a click or two to keep it from being too tight. There you are, folks, the RGMT Globemaster GMT. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will be back. As a matter of fact, I think maybe the next video I upload might be this incredible AV8 Pegasus. I'm really excited about this. This is a numbered limited edition. It's made so beautifully. Incredible dial. Super cool all the way around. Yeah, I'm really loving the micro brands these days. Anyway, thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you on the next video.